But do you not have any concerns about the questionable business dealings of Hunter Biden and possible ties to the president when he was vice president?
Well, there's been no evidence of ties to the president or any evidence of any wrongdoing on the part of Joe Biden.
We know that bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies.
All right, $20 million, various shell companies. What are the facts?
Jim, I think it's important to take a closer look at the specific language that Speaker McCarthy is using here. Notice he said Biden family members and associates. Didn't say $20 million to Joe Biden. Why is that? Well, because Republicans, like everyone else in the world, have not presented any evidence, and apparently not found any evidence, that Joe Biden himself got any of this money.
But I don't see evidence yet that would support impeaching Joe Biden. And I think we're cheapening impeachment by doing that kind of thing. I criticized Democrats for doing that over the Ukraine issue a number of years ago on impeachment. And I don't want my party to fall a victim to the same thing.
You know, I just talked about Bidenomics. I just talked about what the president's going to do tomorrow, really deliver a major speech, something that the American people want to hear about. What are we doing to improve their lives, work on the economy? And these are real issues, real priorities for Americans. And like I said, like lowering costs. But what you see Republicans in Congress, right, they have spent all year investigating the president. That's what they've spent all year doing. And have turned up with no evidence, none, that he did anything wrong. I mean, that is what we've heard over and over again from their almost year-long investigation.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So I want to talk a little bit more about that memo from the Biden White House begging the mainstream liberal media to help them fight these impeachment proceedings. Basically, the White House is asking these media giants, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, all of them, to all get together in a concerted way and publicly agree that the impeachment inquiry led by the Republicans is nothing that their viewers need to see. It's all founded on lies, and that there's no proof, no concrete proof the Republicans have against the so-called Biden crime family. And I'm not sure, honestly, why the White House felt the need to ask for this. I thought that this was basically what the media has been doing for the entire time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments if you've seen anyone actually covering it. But really, I mean, the fact that they felt, that's beside the point. The fact that they felt comfortable enough, the fact that they felt no shame in making that request really is the story here, if you ask me. I mean, the best part, you know, the usual Democratic Party mouthpieces, specifically the always fair and beautiful ladies of The View, they missed the memo. So Sunny Hostin, she dared to deviate from the script during a discussion about the impeachment inquiry against Joe Biden. And she accidentally revealed, she said the quiet part out loud. She accidentally revealed what many people suspect, but literally aren't brave enough or dumb enough in the media to actually say because of their allegiance to the Democratic Party. Basically, you know, I guess she's now a brave whistleblower, accidentally exposing the truth by admitting, you know, honestly, I do think that there's evidence, she says. And it just shows, you know, even some of the leading propagandists, the ones basically required to toe the party line, they don't actually believe what it is that they expect their mushy-brained viewers to believe. Take a look at this, man. But before we do, thanks to everyone that's been subscribing and leaving such great comments, guys. Really appreciate the support. We're building a great community, guys. So if you haven't joined, join us. And do me a favor, help us with the algorithm. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. Check this out.
Now, I'll say this, and some of you aren't going to like this. I think there's impropriety related to Biden's involvement with Hunter. I think there's been some misrepresentations. He said Hunter didn't make money from China. He said he had never met with any of his Ukrainian business partners, which he had. He bringing him to the state dinner, I think, was bad optics. I have yet to see, and this is me, Alyssa Fair, something that's evidence of a crime. The bar is high crimes and misdemeanors for impeachment. And let me just tell you, I know Congress very well. This is dead on arrival in the Senate. There are not 65 votes to convict Joe Biden.
Theater. People are going to be shocked. I completely agree with that. I think that there has been some
more.
Shocking, right?
More, though.
I think that there has been some impropriety. I think that there are instances where Hunter Biden, in an attempt to show access to the vice presidency, the vice president's office, made phone calls to daddy. Those have been taped. I think we have the situation with his work in Ukraine. We have the situation with his work in China. There's no way say that political influence wasn't a part of that. I don't like nepotism across the board. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And so I understand that there is some real concern there. But what is upsetting to me is that Kevin McCarthy and the Republican, this right-wing Republican Party, is trivializing what impeachment is. High crimes and misdemeanors. Our former twice impeached, disgraced former president, accused of you know, talking to President Zelensky of Ukraine and trying to do a quid pro quo and trade information for arms when his country was about to go into war with Russia. Don't you think that's pretty significant?
It is. But my point is, if there's improprieties, do the legal thing.
Right. Yeah.
Take it to court. Make it show us what it is. It's not enough to say, well, so-and-so said this is what it is. No, they wanted to find out, what did the last guy do? Here's all the stuff he did.
Yeah.
But if there is stuff that you're saying, not you, but if there are things that people are saying that the White House did that are illegal, then prove it.
Bobby, this is what Steve Bannon calls flooding the zone. Just throw it out there to confuse everybody.
Well, but that's what they always do.
Yeah.
That's what they always do.
The people of this country need to know that the Republicans are on the same page as Vladimir Putin, who said everything that is happening with Trump is the persecution of a political rival for political reasons. That is exactly what the Republican, the MAGA wing, of course, of the Republican Party is saying. They are in sync with Vladimir Putin, who is the most evil person in the world right now.
Well, some people, you know, feel like there's a whole bunch of evil people in the world right now, and it's hard to tell who.
Man, so after Sunny remembered that she's actually still got a prosecutor's blood running through her veins, she laid out the evidence against Joe Biden. And I really don't think that she realized the seriousness of what she had done. I think she thought, she was just maintaining some credibility, but then just wipe it all out by saying, well, but Trump, Jared Kushner. And, I'll talk about everyone's favorite but Trump argument a little bit, but something pretty entertaining happened. Even though she unintentionally revealed the reason behind the impeachment inquiry, when she's supposed to be saying there is no evidence. The ABC brass, the other co-hosts, I'm not sure who, maybe even Biden himself, they compelled poor Sunny Hostin to read a legal disclosure, probably lifted right out of the freaking letter sent to the media, insisting that there is no evidence of any crimes committed by Joe Biden in his overseas businesses. Doesn't matter that there is no business, but whatever business doesn't exist was not a crime. And this right here, this should confirm to anyone who hasn't been paying attention that the media, knowingly or unknowingly, depending on the person, they absolutely play a role in shaping the narrative for the party. Not for you, not what you need to hear, but for the party, what the party wants you to hear. Even if they don't actually freaking believe it. It's amazing. You got to see it.
But you have a legal note.
Oh, thank you. The White House has called the inquiry, quote, extreme politics at its worst, and said despite months of investigating, Republicans have found, quote, no evidence of wrongdoing. Hunter Biden has denied he did anything wrong by engaging in foreign work in Ukraine and China.
I thought it was 4 or 5 years.
It'll be all up to them to prove their case.
Right.
But right now, we're proving our case because we're taking a break and we'll be.
Wow, man, that is amazing freaking stuff. Now, obviously, this is not the first time that The View had to read a legal notice or legal disclosure after making a statement and having to backtrack. But it's usually after making accusations or really kind of stepping on the wrong side of slanderous law or whatever, libel law. Not just sharing an opinion, which is what this was. And usually they have to have their freaking arm twisted through threats and legal action or whatever. 3, 2, 1. Wow, man. So that's disgusting. And that is amazing stuff. This is obviously not the first time that The View had to read a legal notice after making some stupid statement and having to backtrack. But it's usually after making some silly accusations or, literally libeling someone. Not just sharing an opinion, which is what this was. This was Sunny's opinion. And usually they have to have their freaking arm twisted through legal threats and stuff like that. If you saw my video about the run-in with Charlie Kirk and Turning Point, you'll know exactly what I mean. But this is different, man. This deal with Sunny it's super interesting because all she did was state the factual background related to Joe Biden's activities. And all she did was talk about circumstantial evidence that even a toddler would agree at least looks, smells, feels, and tastes, just like Joe Biden was involved in his son's business, which of course is not a real business. We're not even supposed to talk about the fact that they have a business without having a business. But anyway, because her personal thoughts don't align with the official party-approved propaganda and orders literally from the White House to deny all claims as lies and all evidence is fake, she literally had to go on the air and was forced to contradict herself and read some chintzy legal note denying any evidence of crimes committed by Joe Biden. And Sunny, man, you could say whatever you want as long as it sounds like there is no evidence, there's no evidence, there's no evidence, Joe Biden's doing a great job, CHIPS Act, jobs, there's no evidence, infrastructure. Say those things and you'll be just fine. You won't have to read anything embarrassing. Even though, even she proves, the most in the tank, dyed in the wool party freaking puppet. They don't believe any of this stuff. And truthfully, I appreciate all their denials, man. The fact that they won't acknowledge the evidence tells me a couple things. It tells me that A, they 100% absolutely believe it. And they know that there's no chance that they could ever explain their way out of it. And B, there is a clear and provable double standard. Because with Donald Trump, circumstantial evidence was all that they needed for never-ending investigation. Well, they did end. They ended in empty reports and kangaroo freaking courts. And the independence of the so-called free press, man, that does not exist anymore. That is long freaking gone. Anyway, guys, I thought you'd get a kick out of it. That's just my take. Let me know your take in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.